What if everything fans think they know about Little People, Big World is wrong? What if the biggest scandals surrounding Caryn Chandler, Matt Roloff, and Amy Roloff didn't actually happen on the farm at all, but online, fueled by speculation, missing context, and a wall of silence from TLC? Right now, social media is on fire with explosive claims that Caryn Chandler is facing jail time, that the IRS has seized assets connected to Matt Roloff, and that Amy Roloff walked away with a massive $5 million payday, leaving everyone else behind. The headlines are dramatic, the accusations are serious. But here's the question no one seems to be asking. How much of this is real, and how much of it is fan fiction spiraling completely out of control? Tonight, we're breaking it all down step by step, claim by claim, separating verified facts from viral rumors, and exposing how a few unanswered questions turned into the biggest Little People, Big World controversy yet. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Little People, Big World has always been built on tension, divorces that reshaped the family, business deals that fractured relationships, and resentments that never truly healed. For years, those conflicts played out on Roloff Farms, right in front of the cameras. But lately, the conversation surrounding this family has taken a far darker turn. Over the past several months, Reddit threads, TikTok clips, and YouTube commentary channels have exploded with increasingly dramatic claims. Questions about Caryn Chandler's legal status, speculation surrounding the Roloff Farms' finances, and theories that Amy Roloff has been quietly preparing her final exit from everything tied to the farm. What makes these rumors so powerful isn't evidence. It's silence. There have been no firm denials, no clear confirmations, and with no new episodes to ground fans in reality, there's been nothing to slow the momentum. That silence has created a vacuum, one where speculation fills the gaps, assumptions become facts, and online narratives grow louder with every repost and reaction video. Tonight, we're going to break it all down, where these rumors actually started, why they refuse to disappear, and most importantly, what we truly know versus what the internet wants to believe. The idea that Caryn Chandler could be facing jail time did not originate from court documents, police reports, or any verified legal filing. It didn't come from a leaked record. It didn't come from a credible news outlet. It came from interpretation and escalation. Over the past several months, fans began noticing subtle changes. Caryn appeared less frequently around the Roloff farm. She stopped posting as often. She avoided addressing ongoing rumors directly. To some viewers, that silence felt intentional. To others, it felt suspicious. And in the world of reality TV fandoms, suspicion rarely stays quiet. What started as casual observation quickly transformed into assumption. A reduced public presence became withdrawal. Withdrawal became avoidance. Avoidance became legal trouble. And eventually, the most extreme word possible entered the conversation: jail. Once that word appears in a narrative, the internet doesn't wait for proof, it fills in the blanks. On TikTok especially, creators began using charged language like arrested, detained, and investigated. Thumbnails became darker, titles became more dramatic. But when you strip away the tone and look for substance, something important becomes clear. None of these claims are backed by verifiable evidence. There is no public arrest record tied to Caryn Chandler. There is no court docket showing criminal charges. There is no mugshot, no police report, no official statement from law enforcement. As of right now, there is no documented legal action indicating that Caryn Chandler has been arrested, charged, or is facing jail time for any criminal offense. So how does a rumor like this survive and even thrive without facts? Because silence is powerful. In reality TV culture, silence is often interpreted as strategy. When someone doesn't respond, fans assume they can't, or worse, that they're being advised not to. Silence becomes evidence even when it shouldn't. But stepping back from public attention doesn't automatically mean legal danger. It can mean emotional fatigue. It can mean wanting privacy. It can mean choosing not to engage with online speculation that spirals regardless of what you say. We've seen this pattern play out again and again, not just on Little People, Big World, but across the entire reality television landscape. When a cast member pulls back, the internet doesn't ask why, it decides for them. And once a rumor reaches the level of jail, it becomes almost impossible to fully extinguish. Even when there's no proof, no paperwork, and no confirmation, the idea lingers because dramatic narratives travel faster than boring facts. At this point, what exists isn't a legal case. It's a story built on absence, a theory fueled by quiet moments, and a reminder of how easily speculation becomes truth online when no one steps in to slow it down. And this is only the beginning, because when one rumor takes hold, it often opens the door for several more. What's important to understand here is how IRS seizures actually work, because the reality doesn't match the rumor at all. When the IRS seizes assets, it's not quiet. It doesn't happen in secret. There are federal tax liens, court filings, public notices, and often years of documented disputes leading up to that moment. Properties don't just disappear overnight, and reality stars don't continue filming or conducting business as usual if federal authorities are actively involved. And yet none of that exists here. There are no recorded tax liens against Roloff Farms that indicate seizure. No public IRS filings naming Matt Roloff or Caryn Chandler personally. No court documents showing enforcement actions. No confirmation from TLC, attorneys, or financial institutions. Instead, what fans are seeing are corporate shifts, LLC restructuring, property parceling, and ownership changes. These are incredibly common in long-running family businesses, especially ones tied to real estate, inheritance planning, and television income. In fact, estate planning often looks messy from the outside. Farms are frequently divided into multiple LLCs to reduce liability, manage taxes more efficiently, and prepare for future transfers. This is especially true when adult children, ex-spouses, and business partners are involved, as they clearly are in this situation. Another key detail often ignored in these rumors: an IRS seizure would not target Caryn Chandler first. Caryn is not the original owner of Roloff Farms. She is not publicly listed as the primary financial operator. Any legitimate tax enforcement action would begin with the business entity or the principal owner, and again, there is no evidence of that happening. So why does this rumor feel so believable to fans? Because it fits an existing emotional narrative. Fans are already primed to believe something is wrong behind the scenes. They've watched family fractures, failed negotiations, emotional interviews, and unresolved tension for years. When silence replaces explanation, speculation fills the gap. And social media rewards the most extreme interpretation. LLC restructuring doesn't get clicks. IRS seized everything does. But dramatic language doesn't equal factual accuracy. What's far more likely is that Roloff Farms is undergoing routine financial housekeeping, adjusting to long-term changes, future planning, and possibly even preparing for reduced on-camera involvement as the show evolves. That's not scandal. That's business. And until actual documents surface, not TikTok theories, not Reddit screenshots, not YouTube thumbnails, the IRS seizure narrative remains exactly what it started as: an assumption that escalated into a rumor. The rumor that Amy Roloff walked away with a $5 million payday is rooted in one undeniable truth. Amy exited the farm on her own terms. That single fact has been enough to fuel years of speculation. When Amy sold her portion of Roloff Farms, fans immediately began filling in the blanks. They looked at the size of the property, the rising value of Oregon farmland, the long history of Little People, Big World, and Matt Roloff's repeated claims that the farm was worth millions. From there, rough estimates turned into confident assumptions, and those assumptions eventually solidified into a headline-friendly number: $5 million. But here's the critical distinction. That figure has never been confirmed. There is no public sale document supporting it. No court filing lists it. No verified source has ever attached an exact dollar amount to Amy's payout. What many fans overlook is that Amy's deal was never just about land value. It was about leverage. Amy held a long-standing ownership stake, decades of emotional investment, and clear legal standing. That combination allowed her to negotiate from a position of strength. She didn't rush, she didn't fold under pressure, and she didn't accept uncertainty. More importantly, Amy didn't just sell property. She sold entanglement. For years, she wasn't only tied to the farm, she was tied to Matt's vision, Matt's timelines, and Matt's control over what the future of that land would look like. Walking away meant something far more valuable than a viral number. It meant financial independence, personal stability, and emotional closure. That's why, to so many viewers, Amy's exit feels like a victory, regardless of the exact dollar amount. While Matt continues to restructure, renegotiate, and reimagine the farm's future, Amy is no longer bound to those cycles. She isn't waiting on buyers. She isn't defending decisions. She isn't trapped in a power struggle that never truly ends. And that contrast matters. Because even if Amy didn't receive $5 million, and there is no evidence that she did, she achieved something arguably rarer: a clean break. In the world of little people, big world, that kind of closure looks like success. So for fans watching from the outside, this story was never really about the number. It was about who walked away whole. Amy didn't just leave the farm. She left the battlefield. And that's why her story still feels like a win. At the end of the day, there is no confirmed evidence that Caryn Chandler is facing jail time. There is no verified proof that the IRS has seized assets connected to Roloff Farms. And there is no official confirmation that Amy Roloff walked away with a $5 million payout. What is real is the emotional investment fans have in this family, built over years of watching their lives unfold on television. And with that investment comes frustration, especially when silence leaves room for speculation to grow. In the absence of clear answers, rumors don't just fade away, they evolve, escalate, and take on a life of their own. And until verified facts replace online assumptions, these narratives will continue circulating across social media. So for now, the truth is simpler and far less dramatic than the headlines suggest. Thanks for watching. And until next time.